Hi, this is Munson with Munson Music. I'm going to talk about how you can play a song by Tanya called Some Kind of Trouble. And we're going to end up cabling this on 4th fret to match the recording, but we're going to walk through some things in root position. And it starts off with this cool little lick, and it is really a slide lick, but you could kind of turn those notes into kind of this cool little hammer-on lick, where you play open A to 2nd fret, it's kind of a hammer-on, and then open D, and then 2nd fret on the A string is a pull-off to the open A, and then 3rd fret on the low E string. So O2, O2, O3 might be kind of a cool way to kind of kick off the tune. And then from there we go into an E major chord. We play E major. First finger goes to the G string on the 1st fret, 2nd finger on the A string 2nd fret, and 3rd finger on the D string 2nd fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds an E major chord, and it sounds really happy. Now you may also want to think about lifting off the 3rd finger and making that an E7 chord. Or you could add in the pinky on the B string 3rd fret and kind of work back into an E7 with a little bit more bite. And there's this cool little lick on that part where you may want to do the low E string for your bass, and then a down up, and then play the open D twice, and then 2nd fret on the D. So kind of open E, down, O, O2, O, down, O, O2. Might be kind of a cool way to kind of work that through the intro. And on our verse, we're basically repeating that actually until we kind of have a big E hit. And then we end up on our chorus part, which has these cool little hits where you start off on E major, and then we go to a G major chord. We play G major. First finger goes to A on the 2nd fret, 2nd finger on the low E string 3rd fret, and 3rd finger on the high E string 3rd fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds a G major chord, and it sounds really, really happy. Now you could kind of dig on doing the 3rd finger on the B string 3rd, pinky on the high E string, and kind of dig on that G voicing too. And then from the G we go to an A major chord. We play A major. First finger goes to the D on the 2nd fret, 2nd finger on the G string 2nd fret, and 3rd finger on the B string 2nd fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds an A major chord, and it sounds really happy. Now, you may also kind of dig on lifting off the 2nd finger, making that an A7, or you can kind of use the 2nd finger to kind of go to the B string and the pinky on the high E string and kind of work that as an A7 that way. And on that part, it's almost like you have a little hit. And actually, through a lot of the song, actually, you could kind of work just kind of that bass down up and kind of throw in that lick. Or one of my favorite strum patterns for a 4/4 is a down, down, up, up, down, up. So we took the E and tried that a lot. You'd have down, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up, up, down. So the weird part about our chorus, though, is that G A hit, if you want to get that in, you could do the E with a down, down, up, and then hit the G with a down, A with a down, and then you go back to the E with the whole pattern, and then have another E with the whole pattern. And on that first chorus, we have another E hit to the G, A, and then from there, then we go back into our verse and back into our chorus, but then we have this cool little chorus tag on the end, where we start on the G major, and then we go to a D major chord, and we play D major. First finger goes to the G on the 2nd fret, 2nd finger on the high E 2nd fret, and 3rd finger on the B string 3rd fret. And if you strum the D string to the high E string, that sounds a D major chord, and it sounds really happy. Now you may also dig on a D7 sound for the song, where you do 1st finger on the B string 1st fret, 2nd finger on the G string 2nd fret, 3rd finger on the high E 2nd fret, and kind of use that for the D. And then from the D we go to an A or an A7, and then we go to a B7 chord. We play B7. First finger goes to the D on the 1st fret, 2nd finger on the A string 2nd fret, 3rd finger on the G string 2nd fret, and the pinky on the high E string 2nd fret. And if you strum the A string to the high E string, that sounds a B7 chord. Now for myself, actually, a lot of times when I've got a 7 chord, I really like digging on 9 chord, where you could do the 1st finger and the 2nd finger in the same place, and take the 3rd finger, and kind of bar over the G, B, and E, and kind of make that B9, if you want to dig on that. And on that part, it's almost like we kind of have a big hit, actually, on our B7 after we do our whole pattern. So through that other chorus, we got the E, G, A, E, more E, and more E. But then we got our G, B, A, and our E7, then kind of a big E7 hit. And then we'll basically be repeating those parts through the song. Now the weird part is to play along with Tanya Tucker, instead of starting on an E, she's starting on a G sharp. So to play along with the recording, what you want to do is take a capo, and if you put the capo on 4th fret, then now your E is really a G sharp, and your G major is really a B major chord, and your A major is really a C sharp major chord, and your D major is really an F sharp major chord, and the B7 is really a D sharp 7. But to take it from the very beginning, you may want to kind of kick it off with kind of that intro, kind of that 0, 2, 2, 3, kind of working that like into our E7 chord. And you could do that with kind of that bass down, up and throw the lick. If you kind of dig on it, actually another way to kind of work it through the tune, it could be a little sneaky, is to kind of do down. So you might want to try like an A down down idea, or you could do the down down up down up, or a cool variation of that sometimes can be kind of a down up down up down 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 up down 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 down, or you can throw in the basses with either of those two, making a bass down up or a bass up down up. That intro, then we go into our first verse. So we'd have our E, E, then kind of an E, then kind of a big E, and then we go into our first chorus part. So we have our E, we'd have our E, G, A, E. Verse. Here, then we'll be going into our second verse. So back to our E, then we go into our chorus with kind of our tag on the end. And if you kind of dig in on the basses, actually on the G chord you'd have the low E for the bass, on the D you'd have the D for the bass, on the A you'd have the A for the bass, and on the B7 you'd have the A for the bass if you wanted to kind of throw in basses on that. So we tried our second chorus, we'd have the E, G, A, E. Then we go into a solo part that's kind of like a little piece of our chorus. We got our E, E, G, A to lead into our next verse. So we're back to our E. That we go into another solo part that kind of mixes some things up. So we start off on the E, we got a G, verse. And then we're back to our E. Now if you know there are licks around these chords too, feel free to kind of take this lick or this lesson and kind of embellish it any way you want to. And then from there, then we go into our next chorus. So we're at E, G, A. Oh, threw in a little bass line there to lead into the G. On that last E, if you wanted to, you could do kind of a bass, down, up, and then hit the open E, first fret on the low E, second fret on the low E to lead into the G bass. And that might be kind of a cool thing to kind of throw in too. So if we tried it that way with that chorus, we got the E, G, A, E. Outro band, which is kind of like a piece of our chorus. But that's the basics of how you can strum through some kind of trouble by Tanya Tucker. So good luck.